welcome to my on impulse tutorial video part 2. If you want to check out the intro, I did a video on that before. You can check that out. So yeah, we're gonna work on just I guess it's pretty much like a first verse kind of thing, but the song is more of a developing kind of theme that kind of returns back to it. So this is more, I guess it's like the first verse, let's call it. So it features basically the exact same picking pattern the entire time. It features hybrid picking, which, if you're not sure what that is, hold the pick between your fingers like normal, and you'll be plucking also with these other fingers, your middle finger, your fourth finger, and your pinky as well. So the idea, it's just there's a main picking pattern, and then what gets added is just bass notes on top of that. So first, I would suggest just wrapping your head around this picking pattern, plucking with the E string with your pinky, and then plucking the A string and the G string with your pick, and then with the B and G strings going fourth finger, third finger, fourth finger, third finger. So. Practice that. You can even mute the strings. There's groups of 7 notes here, so it's 7/8 notes because it's in a different time signature for this part. So this will be the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just practice that with muted strings, and then once you're comfortable with using your fingers to actually pluck, then I start adding in the notes afterwards. So we'll start on the first part. So 2nd fret of the E string, 5th fret of the A string, 4th fret of the D string, 3rd fret of the B string, 4th fret of the G string, and 5th fret of the B string. So the idea, high, low, low. So this part just repeats 4 times. So we go. That goes 4 times. Then after that, the exact same melody happens, but we're going to add in some additional bass notes to make it more difficult. So we're going to start with barring off the 2nd fret, so you can get the low 2nd fret of the E string and the high 2nd fret of the E string. And what you're going to do is you're going to pluck both of those at the same time. So your pinky is going to be plucking the E string, and your pick's going to be doing the bass string. So we're going to go, bah, and then the same bass notes as before. With your pinky, get the 5th fret of the A string. With your 3rd finger, of the 4th fret of the D string. So. And then we move on to the same melody note after that. But the thing is, you want to keep the bar so you can let this stuff ring out at the same time. So we're going to go. So, bar off that, 5, 4, and then we're going to pluck the 3rd fret of and the 4th fret, the same theme as the beginning. But instead of just doing that, we're going to add in a bass note. So it goes. So you're going to reach over with your index finger and hit the 4th fret of the A string and pluck it at the same with your 3rd finger. So 3rd finger and your pick at the same time. This is going to be the B string, the 5th fret, and the 4th fret of the A string. So we're going to go. Just practice that right there. So this whole part that we just learned. Okay. Now the next part we move on to is going to be doubling up this bass note to begin with. So we're going to pluck the high 2nd fret, and we're also going to pluck the 5th fret of the A string at the same time. So we're going to go upstroke with the pick. So it's going to go upstroke and then downstroke, because we're going to hit the same theme is happening, but there's just different bass notes. So instead of just being this empty note at the beginning or this note, it's going to be the 5th fret of the A string. So upstroke, downstroke, you're going to double that note, that bass note. And then you're going to go to the 4th fret of the D string after that. instead of just doing like we were learning at the beginning, we're going to add in the 2nd fret of the A string. We're going to pluck the 3rd fret of the B string and the 2nd fret of the A string at the same time. It's going to be like this. Then we're going to move our index finger up to the 3rd fret of the A string. And we're going to do the 5th fret of the B string and the 3rd fret of the A string. So let's see what we've got so far. Okay, now from here, the fingering is going to change a little bit in the high notes, because thus far, the fingering has been staying like this. So for this part, it's going to change a little bit, and it's going to go to. So this is it's going to be the 2nd fret of the B string and the 2nd fret of the G string. You're going to pluck, and then the third. You're going to press down the 3rd fret of the B string, and pull off with your 3rd finger is going to be, because you're going to be holding different bass notes. So let's go to the next part. So we're going to hold the 3rd fret of the low E with our middle finger, and we're going to go and bar off the whole 2nd fret. It can be like from at least the D string to the E string. So as long as you're holding these 4 strings, then it's okay. So bass note, we're gonna go like this. Pluck the high E and the low E at the same time, which is gonna be fret 3 and fret 2. And then we're gonna go same bass notes as before. 5 and 4. And then we're going to go that picking pattern I just showed you. We're going to pull off with our 3rd finger. So we do that twice. Okay. And I know getting that pull off while you're barring can be kind of difficult, so just practice just going. Okay, now we move on after the next part. We're gonna basically bar off the 2nd fret still from the A string now to the E string, because we're gonna pluck the 2nd fret of the A string and the 2nd fret of the E string at the same time. So what we're gonna have is, and then you're gonna do a hammer on with your pinky. So it's gonna be from fret 2 to fret 5. Okay, so, and then just the same picking pattern, the high notes that we were just doing. Okay, that's pretty good. So now we're gonna move up to the next part, which is right after there. And we're gonna move up to fret 7. So index finger on fret 7 of the low E, and then we're gonna bar off the rest of the 6th fret, at least from the D string to the E string. So we're gonna pick the high E string, which we're barring off with the 6th fret, and we're gonna pick the low E string of the 7th fret at the same time. It's gonna be our pinky and our pick. Then we're gonna press down the 9th fret of the A string with your pinky. So we're gonna go pluck, down, down with the pick, which is gonna be fret 9 and fret 6, because you're barring off the 6th fret. And the same kind of things happening in the higher note. So this one only happens once, but try to see the patterns in the picking, and you'll understand and remember how to pick this all, because a lot of it's very similar, but it changes the sound dramatically when you just use the same picking pattern in different shapes. It's great. So after this, then we're gonna go to that's gonna be an open low E, and we're barring off the 7th fret. So it's gonna be fret 7 of the E string, and then we're gonna go and fret 10 of the A string. Same thing, open, let it ring, down, down. Since we're not holding the bass note here, this one's a little bit easier because we can go and pull off with our middle finger this time. up to the 9th fret, bar off the 9th fret so you can get the low E and the high E. So low E, fret 12, fret 11, with your pinky and your 3rd finger. This is just the same pattern from the beginning, but we're going to be, instead of just having it all the way down here, we're going to be doing it up here. This is going to be fret 10, fret 11, fret 12, fret 11. Fret 10 on the B string, fret 11 on the G string, 12 on the B string, 11 on the G string. We're going to go and add this fret 10 of the A string at the same time as the fret 12 of the B string. And then we're going to hold fret 12 of the A string with our pinky. And we're going to do the upstroke and double up the bass note. Double up that bass note. 12, 11, 12, 12, 11. But you're also picking the top note at the same time. Make sure. And then we're going to go add in this difficult bass. This is the hardest part. Add in the 7th fret of the E string. And you're going to play that at the same time as the 10th fret of the B string. So this is going to go like this. So let's see what we've gotten actually so far in this. Let's start from here. Pull off. This is where the pattern changed. Move. Same as beginning. Okay, let's move on to the next part. We're going to bar off, we're going to press down the 10th fret of the low E with our middle finger, and we're going to bar off the 9th fret with our index finger. We're going to play the top note and the lowest note at the same time. So it's going to be the low E, the high E, and then we're going to press down fret 12 and fret 11 with our pinky and our ring finger. That's going to be the pattern 2, which is, so we're going to do that part twice, and then we're going to move on to the last part, which is strumming down. You're going to bar off the whole 9th fret, strum down the whole thing, and you're going to basically, as soon as you strum that down, there's going to be, if you weren't barring it off, it would sound like this. But since you're barring off the whole thing and trying to let it ring, you're going to try to get that hammer on in there. Okay, so strum that down from the A string down, hammer on into 12, pull off onto 11. You want to do that with these fingers specifically because they're stronger to do it. To do it with the pinky would be a pretty big task. And the problem with that is that depending on how your hand is, it might, if you use your pinky, it might stop the high strings from ringing. So you want to do that pull off, and then you want to do the same pattern from the beginning. So 10, 11, 12, 11. 10 on the B string, 11 on the G string, 12 on the B string, 11 on the G string. That happens 8 times, and then we move on to the next part, which will be in my next video. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope this really helped, and if anything was unclear, leave a comment below. If you liked it, like the video. If you didn't like it, dislike the video, whatever. Subscribe if you want to have more videos like this in your feed. And yeah, thanks for watching.